Welcome to our Monday mindset call. And the question is, are you ready? Are you ready? With only a few days left to the new year, are you ready to thrive? Are you ready with a strategy? Are you ready to go all in? Do you know exactly what you're going to be doing? I'm going to be giving you guys some tea on today's call. And my only hope is that one or two people catch it, only one or two. And what I'm going to talk about today is a real structure on how you go into the new year. Normally, I only do this with my VIPs because it is quite strategic and technical, but I'm going to do my best to do it on today's mindset call. And I'm going to use something that I learned from Zig Ziglar around goal setting to help you guys. And if you haven't, if you haven't spotted or seen Zig Ziglar's goal setting, my advice to you is definitely to find that on YouTube and have a look at Zig Ziglar. It's about 2 hours long. I'm going to do my best to condense it in sort of like 10 minutes and then go into some strategy for you, but absolutely incredible. All right, so Zig Ziglar has seven goals, 7 steps to real goal setting, and especially going into a new season. You want to make sure that you have these. So, number one is identifying the goal. Okay, what is the goal that you're going to have going into the new season for the first 7 days? What's the goal? For the first 3 months, the first 90 days, what's the goal? For the first year, what's the goal? Going into the new year, what is the goal? Because if you know the goal, then you can start to strategize behind it, which is what we're going to talk about heavily on today's call. So you got to be specific about what it is that you want to achieve. Number one is identify the goal. Vague goals lead to vague results. Understand this. You cannot just be vague and say, I want to come in successful. I want to make some money in 2025. I want to have a good relationship. I want to have this. I want to have that. Right. And for today's call, for the purpose of today's call, we're going to speak about a financial goal because it's a little bit more tangible and easier. But this can also be translated into, any goal that you may have. So number one is identify the goal. Okay. You've got to make sure that you're really specific around what it is. My advice is coming out of the blocks the first week. What are you looking for? The first 90 days, the first 6 months, the first year. Okay. What is it that you're looking for to get out of this year coming? And you got to be specific. Okay. So instead of saying things like, I want to save money, right? Actually put down a target. So I want to have £5,000 by the end of January, right? I want to have £10,000 by the end of, I don't know, whatever the goal is, you got to be specific about it. The Bible talks about writing the vision, making it plain, okay? So he who sees it may run, right? So we got to make sure we are that clear on what the goal is. A lot of people don't understand the goal. And if you understand the goal, then you can strategize around it, which we'll get to in a moment. The next one, number two, is to list the benefits. Understand why achieving this goal, matters to you. Why does it matter? A clear why is what's going to fuel your motivation. Okay, so if I make that £5,000, I'll be able to clear my debts, or I'll have financial stability, or I'll have a peace of mind for unexpected expenses that may come. I'll be able to go part-time at work. I'll be able to buy my children that surprise holiday that I wanted to do, right? It's so important to know the why behind you want to do it. A lot of people just want to make money, and that's why they never really get to a certain place because there's no real why behind it. What is what is the actual the reason why you want to achieve that goal, right? So the why behind it. The Bible talks about plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance. That is something that I really, really believe in, right? And I think the rest of that scripture talks about, he who is hasty comes only to poverty. That's Proverbs, right? That's Proverbs right there. The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance. That means that we've got to be diligent. We've got to make plans. We've got to understand why we're doing things. Number three is to list the obstacles. And this is something that not a lot of people talk about because they're like, oh, it's negative. It's negative. Well, it's not negative. It's anticipating potential challenges and then being prepared to tackle them. So, what potentially could stop you achieving that goal? What potentially might stop you from doing what you said you were going to do? Is it self-doubt? Is it negativity? Is it confusion? Is it finances? Is it, I don't know, overspending or inconsistent income? What is it that could prevent you from achieving that goal so that you can now be counter you can actually counter that issue when it comes around. What are you going to be able to do when it comes to that particular obstacle? List out the obstacles. What's going to stop you? Is it childcare? Is it you? Sometimes we are our own worst enemy. One of the things that I've seen a lot of is, great people that have so many skills and talents, but because of doubt, they go into their shell. They don't do what they're supposed to do, and they procrastinate, or they do negative self-talk, or say, I don't understand, or say, just start beating themselves down. If you're somebody that beats yourself down and you see that as a potential obstacle, you got to find ways to overcome that, because that can actually hold you back. Also, as well, we did the training last week around who are you listening to? Sometimes you can hear so many different voices. There's a spirit of confusion and you're going all over the place. One of the things for me is I don't just look at the person's results. I also look at somebody who is credible in the area in which I'm going into. So it's very important to make sure any potential obstacles at all that could potentially hold you back, you list those out, and then you say to yourself, okay, what can I do to overcome those obstacles in case they may arise? Okay. If we're going scripturally now, there is a scripture that talks about times of trouble. How many of you have heard that scripture? In the times of trouble, it's almost like in this world, there's going to be times of trouble. Okay. But I have overcome the world, right? I believe that's in John, around John 16. It says, in times of trouble, in this world, you will have times of trouble. That means that things are not always going to be perfect. But take my heart, I have overcome the world. That means as long as you have a plan, as long as you've got God in the center, you do not have to worry about times of trouble. But what we do have to do is we do have to be ready for it. Understand that weapons will be formed. And so we got to be prepared for those. Okay, we've got to understand what those potential obstacles can be. Number 4, identify the knowledge and skills that are required. A lot of the time we think prayer alone can do it. It can't, guys. You actually have to have skills. You've got to be able to sharpen the sword. One of the things Pastor Luke said to me ages ago is he was like, the outcome isn't your problem. It's God. You leave the outcome to God. Your job is to continue to sharpen your sword. Your job is to continue to work on your skill set. Determine what you need to learn and improve on to achieve your goal. What are the things that you got to get better at? What are the things you got to do more of? What are the things you need to really focus on, right? It could be, for example, I need to learn to budget, right? I need to learn to budget because I'm so trigger happy with my spending that sometimes I could literally overspend and then I can't invest in my business, or overspend and then I can't, get the things that I need in order to help me to thrive, right? What are the things that knowledge or skills that I need to update? I might need mentorship. I know I might need to be able to update my skills. Now, here's the thing, right? Skills sometimes are going to cost you money. And what I find is a lot of people don't want to pay. And you got to pay for what you pray for. And I want someone to catch that. Let 2025 be a year where you invest in the very most important thing. It's not property. It's not crypto. It's not gold. It's not assets. That the biggest asset you can invest in yourself, invest in is yourself. Can you make a commitment to invest in your own knowledge and skills in some way, shape, or form? Some of you don't even want to pay for Zoom. You don't even want to pay the extra, I don't know what it is, £10 to extend your Zoom more than 45 minutes so you can run a business. Years ago, I used to have to pay for 2 offices that cost me thousands a month. Now my office is Zoom, and some people don't even want to invest in a Zoom link that's going to allow them to make money. Can you invest in yourself? Invest in a ring light. Invest in a proper phone. Invest in a PC. Invest in something that's going to enable you to advance in your business. Invest in you, ladies and gentlemen. Let this be a year where you say, I'm going to identify the knowledge and skills that are required for me to grow. I'm in a season in my life right now where I'm investing heavily in my personal development. And because I'm investing heavily in my personal development, it means now my time is limited. Who am I spending my time with? I'm spending my time with the clients. I'm spending my time with active paying clients. So now I'm not doing consultations via WhatsApp. You can't WhatsApp me and ask for strategy, and I'm going to respond with a full strategy. That is a client. You wouldn't message me and say, Nikki, can you do my hair over the phone? You just wouldn't do it. Can you do me a favor? Can you do hair for me? No. No. So why is it that we allow individuals to tap into our intellectual property for free? It doesn't work like that. There's a process. So now we have quarterly one-to-ones. Now we have correct protocols. Because I realize that the more I invest in me is the more I am valuable. Some of you don't understand your value. Some of you don't understand that you're actually sitting on your intellectual property. It's an asset. It's an asset. Some of you have skills that you want to develop, right? Some of you are so talented. But you see, we can have some great singers singing down in the train station with a bucket in their hand, getting pennies, or you can have somebody who's in a music studio with £1 million or $1 million contract. What's the difference? Same skill, but different environment. Same skill, but different area. Same skill, but different mentorship. You got to be willing to pay for what you pray for. You got to be willing to invest in yourself. Listen to me very carefully when I say this. Do not be mean to yourself. Some of us will pay for everything for other people. I see you giving to everybody else, especially those of you that are classed as the strong man or the strong woman. You will serve everyone. You will do everything. You will literally spend on everybody else except yourself. But when it comes to you, you don't want to invest in yourself. You don't want to grow. Well, let me tell you this. 2020 Thrive is going to require a bigger investment into you. You're going to have to sow into you. Sow where you want to grow. Identify the knowledge or the skills that's required for you to really go in on what it is that you're going to do. There's a scripture in Proverbs that says, let the wise hear and increase in learning, and the one who understands obtain guidance. I mean, you could flip that and say, if the fool don't hear, they won't learn. Right? I know some of our parents used to say, who don't hear will feel. Who remembers that saying? Right? It's the reverse of this scripture in Proverbs 1:5 that says the wise hear and increase in learning. And I don't want to be, facetious when I say this, but it's not going to be easy. It means sacrifices have to be made. It means that there's going to have to be decisions. You may not be able to get your nails done that week. You may not be able to go and buy McDonald's every day or KFC or eat out. There was a time when, myself and my husband, we were doing really, really well. And we used to eat out like 3-4 times a week, us and the 3 kids, right? I mean, we were eating good. And then we saw a house that we wanted. And when we calculated that house, we were like, okay, we're gonna have to make cutbacks. In our season where things were up, I'm telling you, things were up. And we were like, okay, where are we gonna cut back? Because and we were like, okay, so we're gonna have to make a sacrifice when it comes to eating out. We worked out that we were eating out like well over £1,000, maybe £2,000 a month. Like we were eating out as a family of 5, 3-4 times a week. And I'm not talking about Morley's. I'm talking about some proper restaurants. We were really enjoying life. And when we calculated it, we were like, well, actually, if we don't eat out as a family for those 6 months, we'll be able to buy the house. Can you imagine? We were eating our house deposit and we didn't even realize it. Mercy of God. And I'm telling you, we're a living testimony because we're in the house right now. Some of us need to learn to be good stewards. There may be some cutbacks. You see, a lot of time people think budgeting means you're broke. No, you still have to budget. If you have a money problem when you are financially stretched, if you don't understand budgeting, you will still have a money problem when you have an enlargement of territory, when you have an increase, because it's poor stewardship. So can you steward well what you have now? Are there some cutbacks that you can make? You some of you say, well, Nikki, listen, I've been so cut back, I stripped back. If I strip back anymore, I'm gonna be naked. Well, guess what? There's always a way. If you can't strip back anymore, it means you got to increase your income without increasing your expenditure. But you got to find a way, and skills pay bills. And so if you are in a place where things are kind of tight, it means you're not leveraging your skills in the correct way. And you need number five is identify the people or resources that you need. It means that you need expert advice. If you are financially stretched right now, that's when you're supposed to sow into mentorship. That's where you're supposed to get the right mentorship. I had a message from a girl the other day, and she was like, "Oh, Nikki, I'd love to get your one-on-one mentorship." And I said, "Great, here's the link." You see, I don't need to talk because I have a system in place. I have a link. She was like, "Is that £677 for the year?" I said, "No, babes, that's for the month because I know my value. I know my worth." She was like, "Oh, it's for the month." I said, "Yes, ma'am. It's not for the year, it's for the month." And so you can go over there. You can go over there and get somebody more cost effective. I'm not expensive. You just can't afford me. And that's absolutely fine. Right. But I'm not going to lower my price because it's unaffordable to you. And this is where we've got to get into the place where we understand our worth and understand who we are. You can definitely go over there. But I know over there is not what it is over here because we're authentic over here. And I know how to get results. And so she was like, okay. She never responded after that. It was just okay. But what it means is I'm now comfortable understanding that not everybody has a budget to be able to afford my time. And so they can, they're free to go over where somebody else is. That is absolutely fine. Go ahead. But when you understand your worth, you also understand not everybody is for you. And you can't be afraid to launch. You can't be afraid to set your price. You can't be afraid to be because you think people can't afford you. Well, guess what? When you aim too low, guess who you attract? The pigeons. You aim high, you're going to now start rolling with the eagles. Oh, am I stepping on some toes right now? Mighty God, this might hurt some people. If you're always looking for it on the cheap, that's why you have no results. If you're always looking for a discount, a sale, when you go into the shop, you're going to the sale rack. When you go into an online store, you always go cheapest first. You got to look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, who do I see myself as? Do I value myself or am I always looking at myself on the cheap? Now, Nikki, you're contradicting yourself. Just now you said you got to make cutbacks and now you're saying I'm cheap. Which one is it? Do I do the sale or do I not? What I'm saying to you is you got to know your position. You got to make a decision. Do you want to fly with the eagles or do you want to roll with the pigeons? You just have to know. And when I understand exactly who I am, I understand who I am not. I understand who I'm not for. That's why you have to identify the people or the resources needed. Seek out mentors, accountability partners. Listen, I had an accountability partner about 5 years ago or 4 years ago. It was all great at first. We were going along the same road. We had a similar vision. And I started to get more success than her and I started to aim higher. And so it got to a place where this accountability partner was dragging me down. She was holding me back. It was almost like I felt bad for leveling up because she was staying the same place. And I remember she felt awkward when I started to share some things and saying, listen, no, I'm not doing that. I'm going here. I'm going there. And she was really encouraging. It was really good, but it felt uncomfortable because she wasn't leveling up. And she kept talking about limitations. And I was like, oh my God, I can't have someone as an accountability partner that keeps talking about limitations, keeps talking about all the things that they can't do, keeps talking about all the mindset stuff, keeps talking about all these bad things that's happening. Every day I look at the phone and it's just negativity. And oh, this is happening. The demons are after me and this attack and that attack. And every single day there was just something. I was like, I can't be in this energy no more. I can't. I had to switch that thing so fast. It was faster than a hot dinner. I switched that thing quick. You got to know the right people at the right time. Some persons will start with you, but they ain't going to go on a journey with you. Some people will start with you. They ain't going to complete that to the end. And that's okay because everyone is around for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. But sometimes you got to look around and say, are these people helping my growth or are they slowing me down? And it doesn't mean you're not friends with them no more. Of course, you can still be friends. But here's the thing, who are you spending your time with? Who are you listening to? I'm in a season right now where I'm outside. So that means I'm not going to be stuck by my phone. I'm not going to be stuck reading messages. I'm not going to be stuck on Instagram. When I'm on Instagram, I'm posting, I'm out. I haven't seen what's going on. If people don't tag me in, God knows what they're posting because I know where I'm going. I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm not sitting on people's lives watching them make money. Mm-mm. I don't have the time for that. I literally don't have the time. And there's seasons, and we're going to do, going into, especially those in the VIP in January, we're going to talk about the seasons, right? But there's seasons in your, you got to understand the season that you're in. What resources do you need? What tools do you need to support you with your journey? Like, are you not tired of shooting those videos and it's coming out blurry and black? Clean your screen, clean your camera before you take pictures, right? I'm tired of seeing black photos on Instagram. I ain't liking them, and I definitely ain't sharing them on my page. Lord have mercy. What have you done to me today? Listen, we're going into a new season. They say come as you are. Yeah, but you ain't gonna stay as you are. Not around me, baby. We ain't staying the same. You got to know how to grow. You got to go and grow. You don't stay the same. Some of us want to stay the same and living in our, I used to have this saying, I say, oh, me and technology. No, now I say, I have a working relationship with technology. I'm not going to be left behind because there's competition out there. There's other people selling their books. There's other people selling their courses. There's other people selling communities. So when you look at mine and you look at theirs and you see blurry picture with me and the clean one with them, who they're going to go with? And then I'm gonna sit there and say, oh, nobody wants to do my stuff. No, because your stuff is whack. You need to improve. You got to work on your skill set. I remember I watched one of my old videos. And listen, if you don't watch your old videos and cringe, it means that you have not grown. I watched one of my old videos. I was making multiple six figures and the screen was black, yo. I was like, how did people sign up with me? Oh my God, it was crazy. I had an old Packard Bell laptop. That's all I can have. That's all I could afford. And it doesn't mean you can't get there. You can still make money on the way up because I did. I made multiple six figures with my Packard Bell. And I only got it because it was red. I'm not going to lie. I didn't even check the specs. It was red. I was like, that's the laptop for me. Right. And I made six figures in it. But I look back now and I deliberately left them on my YouTube. I was like, why is it so fuzzy? Why is it so black? What happened to the megapixels? Look at my background. I start like, yo, this is crazy. And I'll probably look back at these videos in 5 years or 2 years and be like, oh my God, is that what I did? Did I have all that stuff in the background? I don't know, guys, but you've got to be growing. We got to stop pointing the fingers to people outside saying, nobody's doing this, nobody's doing that. Then ask yourself, is it quality? People don't run away from good. That was something one of my family members said to me decades ago. I didn't understand it. She was like, nobody no run from good. That was deep. Let me explain that to you. Nobody runs from good. What does it mean? If constantly people are running away from you, that means they don't necessarily see your value. If nobody's signing up right now, and if nobody's buying from you, that could potentially mean they don't see what you think they should see. It may mean that you might need to identify some people that can tell you the truth and say, sis, we got to change some things over here. Bruh, maybe this could be a different strategy that we do. Sis, that flyer over there, so you might need to see Gladys because right now that flyer is not looking how it should look. Right? Girl, that dress you be wearing, it ain't the thing. Maybe you need to go hook up Marsha. Sometimes if you want to level up, you have to talk up. You've got to be open for real and honest and brutal sometimes. Feedback. And not a lot of us like it because guess what? It hurts. Guess what? It hurts. Like, here's the thing. Sometimes I'll go on my Instagram live, my headscarf on. Sometimes I'll come like, in my netball gear, hair's all sweaty, hair's not combed. And then sometimes you'll see me turn all the way up. And My friend said, you know what? It's only your anointing, Nikki, because some people can't get away with doing that. Like if Marsha went on live with her headscarf, it would be a problem because she's a designer. So how can I come? Like you have to also know your brand. If you're out there saying you're a designer, I never claimed to be no designer. People, I said I never claim. My anointing is this. I ain't never claimed to be a designer. I ain't never claimed to be no fashion girl. I ain't never claimed to be no model. I eat way too much to look like a hot girl. I don't wear the makeup. However, if your brand, like a Marsha, who else is on here who's kind of branding like, the top gal Lem, right? Let me see if I've got any top gal. Natalie. Natalie's another top gal. Who else are the top gals on here? Right, I see some people not having their cameras on, right? But I see Gladys. I see who else is here. I see some of the top girls on here, right? They can't do what I do. They can't come on live with a headscarf on because their brand is actually about looking picture perfect. Their brand is about looking good. So they can't come on with a headscarf, right? It's same like if you're saying, you're selling financially free products, but you're online saying, oh, I ain't got no money today. That's a conflict in your brand. But you see, you don't even see the conflict because you ain't brave enough to ask a coach to say, can you tell me the truth about what you see on my page? Because it hurts, to be honest. It hurts. One of the things about Nehemiah is he was honest, yo. I was like, yo, this is crazy. This is crazy because the ones that are honest are normally like, and it's honesty in love, but it still hurts. It still hurts. Have you ever had that question when you were in school when they were like, oh, how do you tell someone if they smell bad? There's not a really nice way to tell someone that they're suffering from BO. Like, there's just not. No matter how nice you put it, we had this challenge one time and we were all like, how do you tell someone if they smell? Like, do you just put a roll-on and a deodorant in their locker and hope they get the message? Like, sometimes there's not an easy way to deliver one of those messages. But let me give you an idea on how it is. This is what I do. And this is what we were taught in the bank, is not to say this is what went wrong. Say, here's what I think could have made it even better. Here's how I think this would have been even better for you, right? Because it's positive feedback. And yes, they say sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. But sometimes, no matter how you say it, it still hurts, right? It still hurts. So we've got to identify the right people, not yes men, people that's going to tell you the truth. There's a lot of people out there that will just take your money and they don't care. They will say their accountability, they'll say their mentors, they'll say their coaches. They will take your money and they don't care about your vision. They don't care about you. You got to make sure you have the right people in your corner, the right tools that's going to help you and, to really support that journey, right? And so what I want for you to do is think about how you're going to use that mentorship. What does that mentorship look like for you? How are you going to let me tell you a way that you can use mentorship even without knowing it. And it's something that I did years ago, stalking. I literally just watched my mentor. There was a lady I used to literally stalk. I went on all her retreats. I was there with her. I watched every post. I watched every story. I watched everything she did and I copied her. And you know what I did? I messaged her. I was like, I'm copying you again. Because I don't copy without telling the person, because that's like plagiarism. I'm like, listen, I'm copying you. I'm grateful for you. I'm studying you. And you know what? One day after all of that effort, I ended up with her for a week where she was training me personally. That's because I put in the work to show her that I was a student to the game. Some people want mentorship and they're not even following the free game that they give. People come to me, Nikki, tell me what to do. Well, I've already told you what to do and you're not even doing what I've told you what to do. So why am I going to give you more instructions? It doesn't make no sense. So you got to show yourself, especially when you want to get to high levels, multiple 6 and 7 figures. You want to attract those types of mentors in your life. They have to see you doing the homework. They got to see you studying them. When people ask me questions, I'm like, well, I answered that in my book. Have you not listened to my book? Like, have you not listened to my book? But you're asking me questions from my book. So that shows me you haven't studied the game. You're not really a mentee. You want the cheat code without actually having to make the sacrifice. You want to grow without sowing, and that doesn't happen. You cannot grow. You cannot ask for growth, but you don't want to sow. And so I'm telling you high level game. Some of you that just want to do mediocre, this isn't for you. But for those of you that want to go really high, you've got to study to show yourself improved. That's Bible. Don't look for everything easy. Not everything is visual to the eye. Some people are like, Nikki, I need more mentorship. No, you don't. You're just not opening your eyes. You're not seeing. Duplication is what you need to do. What do you see that mentor doing? How are they posting? You see them posting a particular way, but you still posting your way. You see them typing a particular way, but you're still doing it your way. And it's absolutely fine if you're happy with the results. But if you're not happy with the results, if you want to grow, Zig Ziglar says, you've got to seek out mentors. How about you have an honest conversation with your accountability partner and say, okay, look, evaluate me. Pretend you don't know me. What would you actually take from my page? When you see me on Zoom, what impression do I give you? Do I look like the type of person that you would buy from? What do I maybe need to do? You know, Marsha did a great mindset call in the morning and she gave some game when it came to, just making those little adjustments to really bring yourself visually. But more so visually, it's also about the internal. Do you know lack of confidence is very, very unattractive to a successful person? It's very unattractive. If you speak like, and excuses, I've got all these problems. It's so bad. I can't do this and I can't do that. And and that T word and all of these things are so unattractive to a successful person, but they will not tell you. You see, Nikki will tell you because Nikki wants you to grow. Nikki will tell you because Nikki wants you to get to another level where you don't speak from a place of lack. You don't even mention all the problems. You don't even mention all the things that's going on because it's irrelevant. Because at the end of the day, you're either going to get the job done or you're not. The excuses cannot go to the bank. They may be valid excuses. They probably are. But the question is are you going to carry these old habits, old dirty habits into the new year? One of the words I want to delete from my vocab is dirty by next year. I think it's my signature thing. I need to get a t-shirt printed. Dirty. I said, I was driving earlier and I said, oh, look at the dirty bus driver. Why is he driving like that? I said, I put dirty in every sentence. But we don't want to carry the dirty habits. We want to carry the good habits into the new year. We want to carry, habits that we can be proud of. The same time it takes for us to complain is the same time it takes for us to actually do the work. Seek accountability, honest ones. Someone said to me the other day, Nikki, you're so busy. You mentor so many people. I said, I actually don't mentor so many people. I coach a lot of people, but I don't mentor a lot of people. Very few people have my mentorship because very few people are ready for it. And the mentor shows up when the mentee is ready. And the way that the mentor knows the mentee is ready is through application, not chattings. So the Nikki, I'm ready. Tell me what to do. That's not how it comes, sis. It's, I gave an instruction. Did you implement? I'm watching if you take on the free advice. I'm watching if you're taking on the master classes. I'm watching if you're doing what we spoke about in our one-to-one. I'm watching these things before I give more. No one's going to give more instructions. Can you imagine you tell your child to wash up the plates? They don't wash up the plates. And they say, Mom, is there anything I need to do? You're like, you haven't even done what I asked you to do. I told you to wash the plates. You're asking me for more stuff? It doesn't make no sense. It's the same concept. It's the same concept when it comes to that. But here's what we do. We pick accountability partners that we believe are going to just say what we want to hear. And that's the truth. And especially the women on the call. We are emotional beings. The truth hurts sometimes. It does. We are all human, right? I remember, and this is me being really transparent. I remember like maybe 5 years ago, I got complacent. I had money. I wasn't really impressing nobody. Like, I didn't care what anybody thought of me to the point where after lockdown, I let myself go. I was just like, oh, child, I can't bother. And my mentors sat me down at the time, my mentors, and they were like, yo, like, you look like you can't be bothered. I was like, because I can't. I really can't. So, but who are you going to attract? You're going to attract other people that can't be bothered. You used to be doing X, Y, Z, and now you're not doing that no more. You used to be doing this, and now you're not doing that no more. What is it? Because you're comfortable? And we all know the comfort zone is your broke zone. I cried like a baby. I rang one of my accountability partners, Emmanuel Asuquo, and I was like, bruh, these people are wicked. You know what they said to me? And you know, bless him, he's like, no, Nikki, it was just one day. Like, don't let these people get to you. And he spoke me off the ledge. But real talk, I needed to hear it. If you don't have a mentor that's willing to make you cry to change, they don't love you. Now, they don't go out their way to make you cry. But it's got to touch your core where you're like, oh my God, that one touched me. But then after you think about it, after you want to cut, like I don't, so many people cuss me behind my back. It's okay. I accept it. But then after you think about it, you're like, you know what, Nikki's right. I do need to be more consistent. I do need to show up for myself. The reason why you're doing it should never be the reason why you can't. The excuse that you make why you can't is the same reason why you have to. Oh, no, I can't do it because I've got the kids. No, you must do it because you have the kids. Identify the people or the resources. And so many times, just like, you know, just like Jonah, you know, one thing I love about Jesus is he will never force you. He gives us the power of choice. And that's the type of mentorship that I have, the power of choice. Choose. You can go all the way around the houses. Do it your way. Do it your way. But make sure it works. Because one thing I know is that you are where you are because you listen to you. And if you are not happy with where you currently are, then you have to stop listening to you. And that is one of the harshest things ever to realize, that some of us are giving ourselves counsel. Who are you listening to? Someone said to me the other day, Nikki, I'm listening to you. I said, no, you're not. I don't know who you're listening to, but it ain't me. I never told you to do that. Please, please, people be putting on their page, oh, Nikki is my mentor. No, she isn't. Please, not everybody that says Nikki is mentor is mentor. No, not this Nikki. It's the French one. It's a different Nikki. Yeah? It's not Nikki Sutherland. Please, they be claiming mentorship and doing all sorts of things. Mercy of God. No. Sometimes I'm like, Oh my word. It's usually Danielle that says, Nikki, who's this? I have no idea. I don't know. Not one of mine. Please. Don't claim. Listen, people be out in the streets claiming mentorship. I may coach a lot of people, but not a lot of people are mentored. Please. Be careful, guys. Mentorship is deep rooted. Mentorship, I'm up in the business. Today I'm video calling Danielle up in her business. I'm like, listen, show me the tin, right? See my sister Natalie up in the business. I'm all over your business, all over the business. That's mentorship. Mentorship is a different level of access. Marsha, another one. Situations happening. Marsha calling me. I'm like, listen, we're going to do this and that, this and that, this and that, this and that. That's mentorship. Right? It's not a dictatorship. Some people use mentorship as like a control thing, like you can't move without the mentor saying, no, it's not like that. It's covering. Hey, Nikki, this is what I'm thinking about. You see, here, let me tell you what some people think mentorship is. Nikki, I've just bought this house. What do you think? Well, you've bought it already. Why are you asking me now? Like, great. I was going to be like, great, amazing. Excellent. We pray all is well. What am I supposed to say at that point? You cannot ask for mentorship. You done bought the house. I don't understand. I don't understand how that process works. And it's not a problem, but it is what it is. So you got to make sure, even if I said to somebody the other day, it doesn't have to be me. There was one lady that wanted me to mentor her. I was like, no, we ain't doing that. And I'll tell you this, some of you are coaches on here, and we've done this training inside the VIP, but I'm going to highlight it. Not all money is good money. Peace is what? Come on, you guys should know this. It's another P. Peace is what? Priceless. Peace is priceless. I have turned down money for my peace. Not everybody's check. Not everybody's check is worth my brain. Peace. I will pay for peace. Peace is priceless. Don't be so quick to say yes. That's why I have a wait list. That's why, I question and I vet certain people because I don't want stress. You really have to make sure. Those, I see a lot of coaches on here. That you got to make sure that you don't let the check make you mess up yourself. Some people allow money to mess up their salvation and mess up their mindset. And all of a sudden you wonder why you're feeling so heavy. And you don't realize that you've sold your soul for stress. You didn't exchange it for a mentee. You exchanged it for stress. But it came looking like a mentee. It came looking like some. No. We don't do stress. You got to know what you are about, but that's why you got to be undercovering. Sometimes I go to Pastor Luke, am I overreacting? What's this or that? He's like, no. No. And he will go, you hear Pastor Luke turning pages. He's going in the Bible now. Well, when? And you start hearing him say, look at John verse 6. Like you hear that this is how you know mentorship. This is going to be in the word. It's going to be in the word. It's going to be in the word. So I make sure that I have that accountability with Pastor Luke. So that I'm not too emotional, that I'm balanced. Right? In Proverbs 11:14, it says, where there is no guidance, a people falls. But in an abundance of counselors, there is safety. That's Bible. Now, here's the caveat to that. Some of us are so unhealed and so hurt and so broken that we fall into the devices of the false prophets that call themselves mentors. And they will see your need. Oh, your need for money, your need for success, your lack of patience will expose you and make you vulnerable to the wrong people. People can smell. I turned somebody away from the retreat because they were too desperate. Nikki, I need this. No. You need therapy. You don't need this retreat. You need to sign up to a therapist, honey, because this is screaming massive mental health issues. And see, and another coach would have taken that money, not me. Not me. No. This is why I'm talking about, where a lack of finances can make you vulnerable. Because when you don't have money, guess what you do? This is why we see a lot of these crypto and Bitcoin scammers. You guys heard about them? People are so desperate and they sign up to these $50 a month, $99. Next minute, they're handing over all their money and then scammed, robbed. A lack of money makes you vulnerable. Do you know why certain people can leverage mentorship? Because guess what? They know that not everybody can access it. Why do some people feel good when they're wearing all these, Louis Vuitton and these things? Because they know it's like elite. They know that not everybody can afford it. When you go to, when you just have what everybody's got, nobody wants that. So it's just a checkup from the neck up, guys. Look at your decision making. Ask yourself, are my decisions coming from a place of desperation or are they really coming from a place of strategy? Where are my decisions? Where did the decision making come from? Where, we laugh about this. I see Althea is on. And one of the things I love about this girl, and it takes a certain type of person, to be mentored by me. But one of the things I love about Althea is that we're just so real with each other, and she doesn't take it no way. Like we laughed about an incident that happened in Jamaica, where let's just call it this way, she messed up. And I told her she messed up, but she didn't groan. She didn't grumble. She didn't get angry. She didn't like, her demeanor didn't change. She just laughed it off and was like, Nikki, it's right. I messed up. And you know what she did? And I'll tell you what it was. It was about timing. She was late for something. And so I was like, you know what? I'm bringing you somewhere tomorrow. But now I don't know because, and I was still going to bring her, but it was just a little bit of a tease. I said, now, because you were late today, I don't know if I should bring you tomorrow. Because I don't know if I can trust you're going to be on time. Like, and I really gave her a hard time. And she was like, no, Nikki, trust me. I'll be there. I promise I'll not be late again. The next day, this is in Jamaica. We're teaching in a school. The next day, she was at the school at like 7 o'clock. She was like, Nikki, I'm here. I was like, you're early. You're 2 hours early. And she was like, no, Nikki, I'm not being late this time. And we laughed it off. We didn't carry it with us, it was funny. And we still laugh. We'll laugh it off in 10, 20 years as well. And we'll use it as an example. But that's the point of mentorship. It shouldn't be like, and also as well, let me tell you this, your mentor is never perfect. A mentor will never be perfect. They are a person with a perfect strategy, but an imperfect person. And if you're looking for perfection, you're going to keep looking. It's just like a relationship, right? Has someone tell me, Nikki, I want to end it. This relationship is not working. I'm like, what has he done? Oh, he doesn't wash up. Like, bruv, if you're looking for everything perfect, you're going to be single for the rest of your life. There's give and take. Nothing is perfect. But you have to understand what imperfections you're willing to put up with and what imperfections you're not. What imperfections you're willing to work through and what, you see, the ones I won't work through, poor ethics. If you rob, kill, and steal, nah, we can't work. I ain't working through that. I'm working through people who hurt people, harm people. We ain't doing that. And so you got to identify. Don't just chase the money. A lot of people look for people who, we used to say, find someone who has the results that you desire. Hey, let me change that. Find someone who has the results, but in the way you desire. They're getting it in the right way. You see someone with £1 million or 5 million, and then you realize they've been scamming people. Is that the person you really want to follow? Have you done your due diligence? Are you really you see, a lot of people, they don't realize until they go out and come back. We're like, oh, rah, I had to pay £1,000 and I got half an hour of their time for the month. Yeah, that's the going rate. Yeah. Where there is no guidance, people fall. But in an abundance of counselors, there is safety. Number 6 is create a plan. Break the goal into actionable steps and set timelines for each step. You got to break the goal down. So for example, the first 7 days of the month, what are you going to be doing? What are the actual actions? So an action isn't sell more. That's not an action. An action is pick up the phone and call 10 people. An action is go on Instagram Live and or TikTok Shop or TikTok and start selling live. An action is knock doors on my neighbors and post flyers and tell them that my shop is open. That's an action. Making more sales is not an action. Some of you are looking at why you haven't got sales instead of looking at what have I been doing? What actions have I been taking? So you've got to create a real plan by breaking down the goal into actionable steps. So if the goal is to make 10,000 in the first month of the year, right? Then how much do I need to make? 2.5 a week. What does that 2.5 look like? That's 500 a day. What activity do I need to do to make 500 a day? If I have a product that's £100, I got to sell 5 of those in one day in order to achieve that 500 for the day. What do I need to do to make those 5 sales? Well, I realize that when I speak to 20 people, I make 5 sales. So guess what? I'm going to speak to 20 people a day, and that's going to help me to make 5 sales. You haven't made no sales because you ain't doing the activity. Let me tell you this, posting on social media isn't the activity. That is the advert. The activity is then sharing your post into someone's DMs, speaking to them, and then picking up the phone. That's an activity. Are you going to maybe track your expenses to identify your spending habits if spending is something? Maybe save a certain amount a month. That could be an action. Maybe, listing out, writing a list and actually calling people. When I used to be, heavy in the network marketing industry, one of the things we had to do was write a list. And when you're writing a list, What did you have to do? People wrote lists, but they never called the people. Oh my God, it was collateral on paper. I remember having books. I was like, oh my God, I found my list of 100. I didn't call the people. It was just an exercise. We wrote the list and never called the people. How many of you have ever written a list of people and then you never called the people? Come on, it's not just me. I know it's not. Commit your work to the Lord and your plans will be established. Proverbs 16:3. Write the list and actually call the people on the list. Create a list. Who are the people that you need to call? Actually call them. Plan that in your day. Make a decision to make the calls. Oh, Nikki, I'm not good at sales. Nikki, I can't speak to people. Lies. Because when you're speaking to your baby father, asking him for that extra £100 so you can go and do your hair, you exactly know how to speak to people. Don't tell me you don't need to speak to people. When you're calling your mom, asking them to babysit so you can go out, you knew every strategy in the book to get your mom to babysit for you so you could go out and shake a leg and have a drink on the evening. When you were going to wherever it was you were going, saving up that money to go on holiday, you made sure you saved that money so you can go on holiday, iron apple with the girls then back in the day or wherever it was. You know how to speak to people. What it is you're scared people are going to say no. What it is you're not connected to your why, and that's the reason why you're not speaking to people. Oh yeah, you know how to speak to people. Quit playing with me. Can we be honest on this call? You know how to speak to people. You know exactly, you know all the strategies and you know all the tricks in the game because you use them. You just don't see it valuable here because you're scared someone's going to say no. You're scared someone's going to say no because you're not confident in your goal. Nobody could turn you away from your goal if you were confident in it. Yeah, they say no. How many no's you're going to have? Many no's. But what about the yeses? What about the yeses that are waiting for you to ask them? Number 7, set a deadline. One of the things I hear people say all the time, yeah, one day. You know, my uncle said to me today, Nikki, one day when I win the lottery, I'm going to buy a mansion. I said, really? One day when you win what now? When you win what now? I said, how many times you put in the lottery? He's like, never. I said, oh, okay. Interesting. We ain't even going to go to the morals of gambling. Like, let's just take it on his level. He thinks he's going to win the lottery one day that he never puts on. So how is he going to win? He's going to miraculously find the winning lottery ticket on the floor outside his house when he goes out to the bus stop because he don't drive. What? You got to set a deadline, not one day. This month, this week, today, I am going to call 10 people. Set a deadline for yourself. A deadline is going to give you focus and urgency. One of the things I'm going to announce at the end of this call is something that sets deadlines and emergencies. Loose lips nearly let that out the bag, right? Say to yourself, by the end of this month, I'm going to have £5,000 saved up, £10,000 saved up. I'm going to make £30,000 in sales. I'm going to do 100,000 in the next 2 months. You've got to be clear. By the end of, 31st of December, 2025, I'm going to make sure that, I'm going to have X, Y, Z. One of my favorite scriptures outside of Nehemiah is in Ecclesiastes, where it says, in everything there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven. That means there's got to be a time where there's extreme focus, where you're going all in, where you have to jump. And when you go all in, it's almost like 10x. Speaking of that, our book of the month, oh, it's upstairs by my bed. Our book of the month is John C. Maxwell's Leadership Bible. And I'm going to direct us certain scriptures where we're going to read John C. Maxwell's Leadership Bible. Those of you in the Rebuild VIP, we're going to be specifically looking at women in the Bible. And we're going to go in on those women in the Bible. But those of you that are here on Monday Mindset, John C. Maxwell Leadership Bible is going to be the book of the month. In fact, it might even be the book of the year because, that book is loaded. Loaded. So in practical application, you got to write the goals down. You got to really almost turn those goals into a covenant between you and God. Visualize that success. What does it actually look like? What does living in that joy and fulfillment and achieving a goal? One of the things we used to do is close our eyes and just think about what it would be like achieving that goal at the end of January or at the end of the 90 days. And if tears don't come to your eyes when you're thinking about that goal, it's not the right goal. You got to dig deep into your spirit and really think to yourself, what is it that I want to achieve and what will be the impact? And I want everyone on this call right now just to close their eyes very simply. And I want you to imagine a financial goal that if you hit that goal at the end of January, imagine this was a yearly goal and you hit that at the end of January. I want you to think about the people that you are going to bless. I want you to think about the things that you'd be able to do. Who would benefit from you hitting that goal? What do their faces look like? Imagine you telling them that you've hit that goal. I want you to imagine right now that you're about to go on stage and collect an award for hitting that goal. And those people that were rooting for you, that supported you, that the family, the children, your husband, your wife, your mom, dad, whoever it is, they're at the front row. And they're literally clapping tears of joy because they knew it wasn't easy. They knew the battles you had to face. They knew the road was rocky. But as you walk up those stairs and you're about to collect the award, you say, it was all worth it. There was a reason for it. And now you're about to put that award is about to touch your hand, and that money is about to drop into your account. Not the money itself, it's what it symbolizes, the freedom. The bondage has been broken. The chains of poverty that's been strangling you has been broken. The strain of the people that you wanted to help has been broken. You did it. You actually did it. You conquered that thing that has almost held you captive for years. And I just want you to smile right now, knowing that it is done. And as you open your eyes, I just want you to give God thanks because you've already been there. You've been there now. You've been there. They say go there before you get there. You've been there in your imagination. And once you go there in your imagination, it has to come to pass. And so before you open your eyes, just bask in that feeling, that emotion of being on stage, celebrating overcoming those tough times, overcoming the times when things were financially stretched, the losses, overcoming times where sacrifices had to be made. Time, effort, energy, overtime, stress. Sometimes not eating, sometimes rushing in between meetings, kids in the car, falling asleep. Sometimes not even eating yourselves, falling asleep, writing down goals, listening to tapes, listening to mindset calls, telling yourself that you're a millionaire, telling yourself you're going to be able to free your family. And finally, even though they laughed, people left you, people said you were crazy. But finally, the day has come today where that goal has come to pass. And some people say, do it for the haters, but you're doing it not for the ones that didn't believe in you, but you're doing it for the ones that did believe in you. And here's the best bit. Out of everybody who needed it, you needed it the most because it reminds you to believe in you, that you did it. You did it. You didn't quit. You set goals. You stayed accountable. You created a plan. You got your accountability. You paid for what you prayed for. You made the sacrifices. You invested. You put in the work. You created a plan. You worked the plan. And now you're here at this very moment, celebrating because it's finally done. As you open your eyes right now, I just want you to smile. I want you to just praise. I want you to just say, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It doesn't matter what other people say. Remain steadfast on the mission for your life. It's time to get that vision, to fix your life. And you got to be big on words. Big on words. Don't use the T word no more. You got to be strong. You got to be strong. Words are power. Remind yourself of this feeling. This feeling. So when reality catches up, you've already been here. You know exactly what it feels like. Exactly. Exactly what it feels like. Gratitude. For everything, there is a season. And it was all worth it. God always has to get the glory. He's doing a new thing in our life. A new thing. A new thing. And we're going into a new season. New ways. New ways. The old ways are gone. It's now a focus season. More determined. More focus. More actions. And we've got to stay positive. These are the times when obstacles will decide to come our way. But I know that to him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, that's who I trust. And we know all things works together for the good of those who love him. You have everything in life you want if you will just help enough other people to get what they want. You in turn will get what you want. Don't ever forget to sow and love others. And it will come back to you tenfold, guys. I promise you this. I promise you this. We are going to have an incredible year. An absolutely incredible year ahead. I've already seen it. I've already been there. And I cry and I roll on the floor as I see the likes of, oh, I don't want to say names, but Danielle, Newhouse, Marsha, seven-figure designer business. Gladys, seven-figure design business for flyers and all kind of things. Yamin, coaching company that's going all over the world, healing nations and generations of pain. I don't know if Mr. Gary Dixon's on the call, but I see Gary. Huge call, a ministry of men. Belinda helping thousands, hundreds of thousands of young teens love themselves. I see so many people just being blessed because we chose to be warriors in this time where it's so easy to be fallen soldiers. Rebuilding brick by brick. But it's going to take courage. It's going to take action. It's got to take an attitude of no more excuses, no more complaining. I'm ready. I'm ready for the elevation. I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to rise. I've been playing too small. I've been playing too small. It's time now. It's time. It's time. So I said I was going to give you some free game on here. So I'm going to end this call on some free game. And if anybody has lasted to the end of this, they deserve the free game, whether it be on the replay or here live. I'm going to give you some free game today because y'all going to see me do it. And so here's what it is. Leading up to this season, you got to start letting your audience know that there's something coming. Put a date and a time for something to come. You keep posting good value content. Don't keep posting something's coming. You got to post good value content. Let people be intrigued. Let them fall in love with you. Now, this is only for the strong. This isn't for the weak. Because the strategy is going live 4 to 5 times a day. Listen, I'm going to tell you this. The last 3 years I've done this, minimum 30K cash. Some of you want a breakthrough. You want to do the work. 7 solid days of straight 3 to 4. Listen, I ain't sitting around on anyone's live watching them make money. Y'all can come on mine. Y'all can come on mine and watch. Some of you can do joints with me. Those of you in the community, you want to do joints, we can do joints. I'm going aggressive. And I'm promoting it from now. From the 2nd of January, we're going all in. So we got Jump in January coming. Now, Jump in January is going to be all in, starting with physical health. Some of us have got more 6 flab than 6 pack. I'm going to start with me. So we're going to start doing Jump in January. Again, if you're not in that Telegram group, join the Telegram group. It's free. Every single day, you have to post your workout, whether it's 10-star jumps, whether it's 5 sit-ups, whether it's a run around the park, a walk around the park. Every single day, you got to post your workout. This is only for those that know they want holistic growth. Is it scary? Yes. Every day, you have to do something when it comes to your physical health. That's why it's called Jump in January. You can jump up and down for 60 seconds, skipping rope. Look, I've got all my weights out. You might see it in the back there. I got my weights, started preparing. I got my skipping rope here. I'm not playing no games. They say come as you are, but don't stay as you are. I don't want to come as I am with this flabby belly. You must be crazy. We'll call it out. Plus size people talking about they're happy being plus size. Lies. Ain't no one happy being plus size. I ain't plus size. I called myself plus size the other day. I ain't plus size. I'm size 14, 16-ish. And I don't like it. And get back to a 12, 14, mate. I'll call out the devil. I'm not hiding my weight. I'm gonna call out the devil. In fact, I'll show you right now because it ain't gonna look like this. You see, let me tell you something. You shame the enemy. This is what you call accountability, because if it still looks like this, we have a problem. Look at this. Tommy, the talking tummy has to go, Don. Right? Look at this. This is going. Look. It's nasty. It's disgusting. Mac and cheese. Listen, I'm pescatarian from January. We're going into a month of fasting and prayer as well. Okay, so those of you want to write the rules down, yeah, this is what I'm saying about some of your mentors. Y'all want to be all super perfect. Ain't nobody out here perfect. They're just not calling out their imperfections. But because I know the God I serve, I'm not here to please man. So I don't care what anybody thinks. I know what I think. And this belly is not happening for me. It's not. And I don't think my husband wants his belly. Poor little Anton, he's so slim. Probably flatten the poor boy. So getting him out of breath. Babe. Nah, we ain't. No, it needs to go. I was gonna say something, but I remember it's Monday Mindset. It's not the Rebuild Community Private Ladies. So let's keep it EG. Right? It has to go. Is anyone else with me? Especially when I'm coming up to 40, so I'm 38, right? See, I'm calling out the team. I'm 38. I'm not going into my 40s looking like a Oompa Loompa. It's not happening. It's not. So Jump in January is a great way to reset. I'm going to set the rules. I'm going to drop the rules inside the groups. If you have Telegram and you're not in the Telegram group, Jump in January is going to happen in Telegram. Okay. Let me put the Telegram. It's free. There's no tricks, no nothing in there, no sales. It's just straight accountability for those of you, right? Those of you that want to. So I'm putting it in there. You can share it with any people that also, want to jump. We're also going to be praying as well. Okay. So prayer, we're going to be doing fasting and praying. Okay. So some of you may not want to fast like all day, but you can do intermittent. You can fast for, half a day, whatever you want, right? But we'll drop the rules in the group so you'll see everything that we're going to do. So it's going to be fasting. It's also going to be working out. It's going to be business aggression. It's going to be praying. Okay, we've got a holistic jump when it comes to January. And then the 2nd of January is where we go all in on socials, promoting our businesses and going all out. Last year, the results that we had was crazy. I lost over a stone. Some people was losing 2 stones. Some people was losing crazy amounts of weight. Like it was crazy, right? But what I'm going to continue after Jump in January is I'm not eating no more meat, red meat, at least. If not even chicken. I'm going pescatarian because all this red meat, all this steak and that I've been eating is riding up in my guts. And if we want to be healthy in the wallets, we got to be healthy in all areas. So I don't know who wants to come along with me, right? But I know I'm doing it. And I'm saying it because I'm keeping myself accountable here as well. Okay. So Jump in January is back. Also, as well, I'm gonna do some free giveaways. I'm just letting you lot know right now, right? I'm gonna do some free giveaways on those 7 days where I'm gonna be hammering Instagram and TikTok 4 days, 4 times a day. I'm hammering. I can pop up anytime. I'm gonna be giving away things for free. I'm showing you the game, okay? I'm showing you the game here. I'm not here telling you I'm giving away things for free because our consumer minds are like, oh, let me jump on so I can get the freebie. No, I'm teaching you what you need to do as well. Okay, so you can come on and learn. This is going to be training as well. Not every training is something where I'm going to sit down with you one-on-one. Some of you come on and listen and see what I do and take notes. You got to be observant in this time. This is what mentorship is. Observe, duplicate, see what I'm doing, and then copy. Right? So I'm going to be live 4 times a day from January 2nd. I'm going to be starting the Jump in January. We're going to, share the link, get everybody into the group. We'll start the Jump in January, okay, from the 6th, Monday the 6th of January. So it allows us to give people time to join, especially that I'm going to be doing the lives from the 2nd, which is the Thursday, for 7 solid days. So it allows people to join as well on the live. I'm going to be selling live on the lives. I'm going to be selling. I'm going to be giving away. I'm going to be giving value. I'm going to show you exactly how to do this thing. So you want to share your, share the live when I'm on it. If you are appropriate, ask to come on the live with me and let's run it together. That's going to leverage your network as well. My network will now see you, and that gives you an option to have people follow you. So you got to be vigilant. You got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready, because I'm not always going to announce when I'm going to go live. Right? So you got to make sure that you're ready for this, because now my clients, my customers almost be yours as well if you're ready to give good game. Now you're not going to get long to come up and, talk and honor and, be yourself. But hear what? I don't need long. Give me 60 seconds. That anointing's going to flow. And I know people are going to come on my page and follow me. Right? So this is how you want to be confident. Turn them notifications on. We ain't playing. It's a season to jump, and we already know it's 2020 Thrive. Then we have Come As You Are in February. Now, I think the team told me there are 2 gold tickets that's available. 2 people upgraded. So if you don't have a gold ticket, you can get a gold ticket, and there's 1 super VIP and 1 VIP ticket available. So if you haven't got a ticket for Come As You Are and you want one, message me first. It's first come, first serve. But any of the Come As You Are tickets come available, I'm selling them on the lives as well. So it's so important, guys, that if you have not got your ticket in the room, listen, messaging me is not going to you want to be on them lives. You want to make sure you get the ticket. So right now there's 4 available, 2 gold, 1, and there's still payment plans available, I think, but you got to message me. It's first come, first serve. If you know someone who needs to be in the room, get them in that room. Okay. So again, I'm giving you free game here on how to get your momentum going. And you got to make sure that you are active active. That's the key. Be active, be in the room, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Leverage somebody else's network. Be ready with a link so that people can join. Look, I just dropped the link inside and people have joined the community. That's how you got to be ready when you go on an Instagram live. But you're on my Instagram live and I'm like, oh, Marsha, drop your link so people can follow you. And you're like, Marsha B, solo flair. People ain't going to know. Drop the link so people can click it and go. You got to be ready at all times. You know, how do people contact you? Have your links ready. Make sure you have a place inside your phone where you are ready to go. So this is where you've got to think like a business person. You got to move like a business person, and timing is everything. And you're not going to have long. I'm not going to give people long. It's literally going to be an opportunity, right? So also as well, to let you know, payment plans are only on VIP and super ticket. It is not on the golden tickets. Okay, so golden tickets are so cheap. There's no payment plans for golden tickets. The golden tickets are VIP and super VIP only. And it is first come, first serve. All right. So please, guys, just to be clear, there are no payment plans on a VIP. They're only 150, £150. There are no payment plans on those. Okay. So yes, very, very important to be able to do that. But I'm giving game. I told you guys that the VIP community, the price is going to go up again. It's currently only £97 a month, but it's going to go up again. So anybody who wants to get in, I'm telling you, time and position. You guys want to keep watching the price go up whilst I am here. It is absolutely fine. There is no way the price is going to go back to what it was. I promise you that, but it will go up again. It's currently $97 a month. We have a new app coming as well, and so it's going to be phenomenal. I got a message today to say that the new app is almost ready. I think people are going to be converting into that new app very soon. I think Charmaine's already in there, and she's just figuring out some of the settings. And we are going to be converting over into the app where you're going to get free courses, free game. You're also going to get the masterclasses once a month, as well as the strategy session once a quarter with me. And homework is going to be twice, sometimes 3 times a week. Now we have the homework section inside the app. It's so much more easier for me to apply homework. We'll also have a scoreboard where you'll be able to get, points and stuff like that. Which will allow you then to use inside the infrastructure. So I'm super, super fired up about what we have coming. Also as well, 2 more places left at the retreat in March. And we do have a massive retreat coming. Okay, but this is multiple 6 and 7 figure earners. Okay, this is a whole different vibe. So if you've never been on a retreat before, you probably would not get onto this retreat, depending on the levels. But the next retreat is March 7th through 9th. There's 2 places left for that retreat. If you haven't already applied, there is an application process, because of course we want to make sure that the content is good for you, and also that the mentorship is also good for you. We will have some, I believe we have Danielle that will be at the retreat this time around. She's acting ambassador. She's actually training to become an ambassador. So shout out to Danielle. We also have the financial literacy for children coming in June. So if you have any children ages from 7 to 14 that need to learn financial literacy, we're going to actually be helping young kids to start a business right at the retreat. We're going to be helping them budget and learn about money. Belinda is also going to be running that retreat with me as a training ambassador as well. So if you do have any children, look out for the application for that. That is going to drop as well. And there will be limited spaces for that. The children will have their suits and ties, and they're going to look real, real nice as entrepreneurettes. And I'm very, very excited about that as well. So we've got quite a lot of things coming. Those of you that want to learn investing gold, we are still investing in the gold markets. We have sessions Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Okay, absolutely free for you to be able to find out a little bit more about how we do that as well. Whoever put you over here can literally send you the link and you can jump on and find out about that. Now, lastly, if you haven't sewn into my book, you have not heard the Rebuild book. My question is why? Like, why? The Rebuild book is a combination of personal development at the beginning, but financial and business blueprint in the second half. It's a 2-hour audiobook that you can listen to in your car, whilst you're sleeping, on your way, whilst you're brushing your teeth. And it's a combination of two parts. Part one is more the personal development, overcoming trauma, overcoming obstacles. And then part two is around overcoming business and really being able to make multiple 6 and 7 figures in business. So if you haven't already purchased the book, okay, I do actually have a new link because we've got something special. Now, even if you have purchased the book, you may want to go in and you may want to click this link because this link is now run by my team where you get extra special things attached once you've purchased the book. So I'm going to put the link in there. It's also I haven't announced this yet, but this is, if you have it already, I think you have it already, Natalie, because I think you were one of the first people to get the new version. But if you have it already, you will have the audio and the written book. Now, the written book allows you to highlight, it allows you to do all different types of stuff. So if you got it originally, you may not have the upgraded version. It's not actually on my rebuild.co.uk page. It is on this page here. And so this is where you want to go. It's got 3 different versions of it. And it allows you now to highlight and have it on your Kindle and all kinds, some kind of stuff. Yeah, baby, they're upgrading. They're doing a whole bunch. So have a look over there. It will show you. So it's still on the digital. So it's not the physical book, but it allows you to actually see the words. And it's a different version. It's not the same version that you hear my voice. It's an actual, it's really good. Like, yeah, it's good. It's serious business. So you can check that out over there. So as I said, there's a bunch of things happening. And I want to encourage you. Don't just look what I do. Understand the strategy behind it. Think about what you see. Think about what you need to implement. A lot of people say, well, Nikki, da, 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 da. I'm showing you every day, but you're just not paying attention. And so because you're not paying attention, you're going in other directions and then you're now getting confused. So we're going to do this. I want to wish every single person an absolutely incredible, Christmas season, whatever some people call it, right? Because we're going to work. My strategy starts Boxing Day. Whilst most people are stuffing their faces on leftovers or hanging outside the shops waiting for discounts, Nikki's starting her strategy from then. In fact, it's already started. And so I'm wishing you a great time. I'm going to eat. I'm going to eat because I know jumping January, I'm done. So I'm going to eat. I'm going to enjoy a merry season. I'm going to be back here next Monday. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Okay. And I'm excited for everything that's about to happen. Okay. Everything that's about to happen right now. Get excited because nobody gets left behind. All those inside the infrastructure, will never get left behind because it's part of the blueprint. Part of the blueprint is empowering others. Part of the blueprint is lifting you up. Part of the blueprint is making sure you get paid if that's something that you're wanting to do, right? We have some people in the rebuild that just want to work on their spiritual side and their, emotional side and their confidence, and that's fine. But those of you that understand that the confident you still needs money, the confident you still needs to expand, I'm going to help you guys as well. And I have a great team around me that's going to do that. So with that being said, guys, I will see you, God willing, next week, Monday. But get ready. The strategy starts. Gladys, we're going to have a conversation. I'm going to need about 5 templates to be able to drop on these lives when I post them, right? So we're going to have a chat about that. Big up yourself, everyone. If you are part of the rebuild, let me go ahead and see those bricks. Let me give you a quick shout out. And I am looking forward